to advance their evil agenda. These forces tell us that we are now the subjects of the so-called Great Reset, the new normal, which is dictated to us by their manipulation of citizens and nations through ignorance and fear.
So we have to prepare for a more angry world.
And everything you care about will be gone. Your whole philosophy is going to be gone.
A very dangerous phase, and I think we just need to absorb the fact that even if Trump loses, he is saying he will not accept those results. He will not go peacefully. He's willing to risk violence and even some regards civil war to stay in power.
They were acting like they already knew what the outcome was going to be. They had it covered, and perhaps they did, very sadly for our country. It was all very, very strange.
This is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter. This is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter. This is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter.
We're going to be stronger than we were when we were riding high.
I think Trump, you're going to fall into the rabbit hole of trying to just be so obsessed about Clintons and so obsessed about going after him.
Ultimately, those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
With this strategy, we are calling for a great reawakening of America, a resurgence of confidence, and a rebirth of patriotism, prosperity, and pride.
There is a great awakening going on around the country, particularly among younger people.
But we still have threats out there.
That no matter the danger, no matter the threat, no matter the odds, America will always rise up, stand tall, and fight back.
Continue with the former President Donald Trump. We don't have a lot of time, but let's talk about your future plans. Would you like to see the president run again in 2024?
There are those who exploit the emotions of many Trump supporters with fantastic claims, half-truths, misinformation.
Mr. Trump here wrote The Art of the Deal. Then he wrote a new bestseller, The Art of the Comeback.
Talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
You're not going to answer, but I have to ask.
You know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally.
Where are you in the process of, let me ask you this, without giving the answer what the answer is, have you made up your mind?
Yes.
Because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings and we're not. How we're really making other people live like kings and we're not.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. The numbers are going to be very good into the future. We're going to be very strong, starting with our transition period.
We're ready. This new population is going to find the vaccine rollout fast and efficient. So my hope is that parents will take advantage of the vaccine and get their kids vaccinated.
FBI bulletin warning that anti-government extremists are potentially focused on sparking violence in the next 3 months and that presidential elections could be a flashpoint.
13 members of 2 anti-government Michigan militia groups have been arrested. 2 suspects have ties to the U.S. Marines.
Groups like this group, these domestic terrorists, are finding comfort and support in the rhetoric coming out of Republican leadership from the White House to our state house.
I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if you're going to believe me when I tell you this. But what's happening right now in America is witchcraft's trying to take this country over. It's witchcraft. It's trying to take America back over.
It was a big comeback. It was a big comeback.
I can't believe they put us in jail. It's not a jail. It's a re-education center. Well, where do you think we are?
Kind of dominant left-wing cultural society tells them they're ignorant or they're racist or they're bigots and doesn't care about them, doesn't care about their problems.
Then none of this would have ever happened. Well, we're not the only ones to be unjustly imprisoned. Check out all the left-wing celebrities.
And that's not going to go away by banning people or silencing people. So I think all of this backlash, I mean, people were right to criticize President Trump, don't get me wrong, for how he handled the Capitol attack. But all this kind of purge and backlash.
Bill Clinton, what are you doing here?
I call the Republican tax cuts unwise.
You traitors, pipe down. You're all here because you hate freedom.
At this point, it only serves to kind of foment the division that's causing all these problems.
Look, it's very sad. I heard 59 planes flew in from all over the world. These are people that are taking advantage of our country. These are people that I know, many of them. I can even look at their plane and say, who owns this one, who owns that one? I know them.
The fake news media, failing New York Times, NBC News, ABC, CBS, CNN, is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people.
We are already beginning the transition. We're well underway.
He's a servant of the wealthy donors, globalists, and special interests who got rich bleeding America dry. And by the way, I could call these guys, every one of them would give me millions. I'm president. I called heads of Wall Street firms. I'd say, hey, do me a favor, could you give me $5 million every single one? I can't do that, though, because you know what? If I do that, I got to do things for them, and I want to do what's right.
If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of 26 on your parents' coverage, they're coming for you.
Senator Harris, thank you.
We will be today terminating our relationship with the World Health Organization and redirecting those funds. We're going to have a very interesting transition period.
We congratulate President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
Look, they're all on the same team. We're all in the same team, including Dr. Fauci. I have a very good relationship with Dr. Fauci, and we're all in the same team.
I am honored to announce that the United States will remain a member of the World Health Organization.
For the United States to rejoin the World Health Organization.
And next year will be one of the greatest years we are going to have. I'm telling you, mark it down. And if I'm wrong, you'll say I was wrong. I'll say sorry about that. But next year is going to be one of the best years we've ever had. We're going to have it. Next year will be a great year.
But our fight against this virus is not over.
Under Operation Warp Speed, my administration is developing a vaccine in record time.
Right now, as I speak to you, millions of Americans are still unvaccinated and unprotected.
Now, concerns are growing in Israel after some fully vaccinated adults got infected with the coronavirus. The country had one of the fastest vaccination programs in the world, but now cases there are rising again, fueled by the Delta variant, and officials are reimposing some restrictions.
Doctors say it's critical to get vaccinated this year because the flu and the coronavirus have similar symptoms. Most common concerns, side effects, and that the vaccine is not effective.
It's generally believed that with the coronavirus, the worst is yet to come. Some predictions by global experts say the virus will likely end up infecting most people in the world. In that case, it could become a seasonal illness like the flu.
The World Health Organization is urging fully vaccinated people to continue wearing masks as the Delta variant spreads worldwide.
People have been claiming new cell phone technology called 5G is a threat to our health. Now, posts on social media connect 5G to the outbreak of the coronavirus.
And how these towers can be built near your property without your permission.
And you have them going, in some cases, from hotspot to hotspot.
If you notice, they're usually hotspot to hotspot.
Made a map overlaying the new 5G towers with the COVID-19 cases, then claims how it's weird the towers are right by the hotspots.
This is 5 times faster than the fastest prior vaccine development in history. 5 times faster. Say it again, 5 times faster.
They are not doing the health studies. We want them to stop it and slow these things down until they do the proper health studies to know that this is safe.
I had no idea that that's exactly where the towers were going to go. I just thought it was announcing in the hearing to talk about it.
So it's the first that we had heard of it. No one had informed any of the residents. No one had informed the homeowners association.
According to the American Cancer Society, there is no strong evidence that radio frequency waves from cell towers cause any noticeable health effects. But it says more research is needed, especially for any possible long-term effects.
It's just a giant experiment on the entire population.
Joel Moskowitz with the UC Berkeley School of Public Health says hundreds of peer-reviewed studies from 41 countries have found exposure to radio frequency emissions from macro towers like the one on top of Channing House can have serious health impacts.
Headaches, what people describe as brain fog, memory and confusion, skin conditions, heart palpitations, a whole range of symptoms has been associated with long-term exposure to prior forms of cell phone radiation.
As for the new 5G towers, there have been no studies at all to date on potential health impacts.
During our visit, we discussed the importance of a secure 5G wireless network and the need for this emerging technology to be a tool for freedom, progress, prosperity, not to do anything where it could be even conceived as a conduit for suppression and censorship.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.